Morning in front.
24th of September, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Lou. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. She was Hamanach Yerushalayim Kir Zoom. This is our first year this morning, Mr. Pierke Avos. We're taking a slight diversion as Rosh Hashana is getting closer day by day. Just trying to review and prepare a little bit of our prayers as we're going through the liturgy, the prayer of Mida for Rosh Hashanah, the three insertions that are beginning of the V'chein Tains. So let's continue. Let's continue where we left off.
I think we finished the third one. Does that sound right?
Possibly. I think there was one. Didn't we leave off with some one point? If I'm not mistaken. That there was what to consider here.
Where did I put it?
I'm sure you're right. Yeah, we have to. We're working on the last point. We have to. Right. Avos tikot piha. We did that. That was at the all iniquity shall have its mouth closed. It won't have any saying anything. V'kol risha kulo ka'ashin tichle. Right. And ki savir nemshel zona min haaretz. So these last two statements, v'kol risha. How do they explain it to you in what you have in front of you there? Let's look at this for a little bit.
Iniquity will close its mouth, and all wickedness, all of it, like smoke, will vanish when you remove dominion, the domination of evil from the earth.
So that expression key, right? When, right?
Right.
The two things before that are dependent upon the last thing, the way I read it. Is that correct?
Yes. And actually, I have a question now that I think about it. It says, when you will remove the domination of evil from the earth. That would seem to imply that right now evil is dominating the earth. Which doesn't.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Don't you forget that.
Evil is dominating the earth?
Oh, yes. Quite profusely.
But it also infers that evil will be rampant elsewhere in the universe. Maybe the rest of the universe.
Yeah. What do you mean by the rest of the universe?
Well, it seems it's what do we say here? Where is it? Iniquity will close its mouth, and all wickedness will evaporate like smoke. Oh, right. I thought it was from the earth. Oh, yes. And you will remove evil's domination from the earth. Yeah, that's a lot. And you will remove evil's domination from the earth. Okay, so.
Right.
Just a moment. Then it's a different query. My point was to do with if evil is removed from the domination of the earth, but it doesn't say from the rest of the universe, from the solar system and the beyond, solar systems beyond, and any civilization that might be beyond, and so on.
Well, I mean, I would say that evil is only inanimate according to the simple understanding of things, inanimate objects, there's not evil in things which are inanimate, according to the simple explanation.
Mhm. And yeah, and you will remove evils.
Tov,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, sorry.
Tov v'ra, that began with the with the eating of the Eitz Hadas by Adam Rishon, and it was told by Kadosh Baruch Hu that it's forbidden to eat from the Eitz Hadas, Tov v'ra. There are two perspectives. There's emes and sheker, and Tov v'ra. Two completely different perspectives.
So what's total rot mean?
Well, we'll explain as follows. You have the perspective emes and sheker. Now, something which is false. So that's at the time, let's put it this way, at the time before Adam Rishon ate from the Eitz Hadas, emes and sheker was objective. That was an objective evaluation. Once Adam Rishon ate from Eitz Hadas Tov v'ra, now emes and sheker, instead of being objective, became subjective.
All right.
I'll give you an example. Yeah. I'll give you an example. Having police is good or is it bad?
Depend on the police. Well, let's say it's good.
Well, if you're a criminal, it's not good. For a criminal, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So because of this, the criminal mindset places a value judgment on police, that police and law enforcement is bad. Right? That's wrong. The truth of it is, the emes of it is that law enforcement is good. But because of subjective judgments, people will now superimpose their perspectives of Tov v'ra on those things which are emes and sheker. Right? So Memshala Zadon, the dominion of Ra, of evil over the earth, right? So that exists now because of what we call people's bechira, people's free will, their bechira. When people, meaning I'm talking about Adam Rishon before he ate from the Eitz Hadas, when people were able to make an objective decision, untainted by what they think is toiv, what they think is raw, what they think is good, and what they think is bad. In those early days of Adam Rishon's existence before eating from the Eitz Hadas, toiv or raw, in those early days, he could see things clearly through the pure perspective of emes and sheker. Anything he would evaluate, is it emes and sheker? Emes and sheker.
One or the
Having
other.
eaten from the Eitz Hadas, say that again?
One or the other.
Yeah, it's either
falsehood.
emes, it's
Not
either
in
true,
between.
it's either true or from there's no in between. Anyone can try. Don't let anyone. Now there's a lot of gray area. Now there's a lot of gray area because we don't see, because we have the clouded vision of Tov v'ra mixed in with emes and sheker. But without that, there's no doubt about what it is. No doubt about what it is. The only thing is, because of our perspective of what's toiv, what's raw, what's good and what's bad, everything's become cloudy, and therefore what's true and what's false has also become cloudy. Right? So now we have the dominion, we have the Memshelah Zodom Minaret. And we should maybe think, what's this? What's Zodon? This word Zodon, right? Memshelah Zodon. That it didn't say Memshelah's raw. It didn't say Memshelah's raw. It didn't say the dominion of bad. Zodon. Yeah, that you know where that word comes in. You know where they say that. You have your regular weekday Shemona Esrei. If you have a regular weekday Shemona Esrei, look there in the Al Anisim of Hanukkah.
I haven't got it here.
Or maybe you have a bencher. You have a bencher, Birkas Hamazon.
No.
Okay, hold on. Okay. What are we looking for? Zodon.
Looking for Al Anisim for Hanukkah. Al Anisim for Hanukkah.
Right? Zodon?
So you see in the Al Anisim for Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, it says Vizadim.
Vizadim, right? You want to read those a few lines for us, Mayor, please?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me check the English out here. Let's see. Let's start with Tameim. The impure into the hands of the pure, the wicked into the hands of the righteous, and the wanton unto the hands of the diligent students of your Torah. Okay, so he translates Zadim Biyad Osk. Oh, that's it. The wanton,
Right.
whatever that means.
It means who sin purposely.
Oh, who sin purposely? Okay.
Not yeah, let's see. So also Zodon, I tell you that this word comes up. Zodon. This is a pasuk. There's a pasuk. It comes up twice, a few times. Is Zodon libecha. Maybe if you have a Yirmiyah, Zodon libecha Yirmiyah perek mem tes pasuk that Zion.
Yeah, that makes it look like that. Yeah, there.
What was the chapter in Yirmiyah?
Mem Tes 49, Pasuk Tes Zion.
Yirmiyahu 10:72.
Is it 14?
Oh, sorry. So chapter 40, what was it? Sorry.
49,
49,
16.
49, 16.
Oh, 49, 16.
So I'll tell you this expression also comes up, Zadon Libecha. It also comes up in Avadia, but let's take a look. Take it one step at a time. Let's take a look at Yirmiyah.
This says
That's
the
in Mem.
heart
Yeah, I didn't hear him say that again, though.
and the pride of thy heart.
Pride. They say pride.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
I've got here the wickedness of your heart.
Wicked. That's a little bit better there. Yeah.
Yeah, the wickedness of your heart. That's what I have.
One second. So 49. Tezvon. Weakness. Okay, so weakness of your okay, but now there's a pasuk in Ovadia. In Ovadia, if you have that there, it's one of the smaller in the Shreyas
Yeah.
or the small prophets of
Yeah.
Ovadia, and there it also the same expression comes up. That's in Perek Rishon, Pasuk Gimel.
Vadia.
Ovadia is usually after Amos.
Uh-huh. Vadia 1370. 1370. Isaiah, Amos, Obadiah. And the first
The, the
sentence.
first chapter and the third pasuk.
All right. Obadiah. Third.
Of thy heart.
Excuse me?
My English says the same thing, the pride of thy heart.
Pride. Which translation are you using there, Lou?
I'm using the Jerusalem Bible.
Okay. Right here. Good. Right.
That's a solely Septuagint translation.
Okay. Now, the Malbim. Okay. The Malbim. Listen to the Malbim on that pasuk in Avadia. Right? Zad Bechas. He says, this is very important. Stam Zad hu acholik al ikri emuna umachish biyad Roma. That that the Malbim says Stam Zad Zion Dalid Zad is a choilik al ikri emuna. They argue against the principles of faith, umachishim biyad roma, and they contradict them with arrogance.
Okay, so pride and arrogance are similar.
Right. So and that's appropriate for the what we say in the Al Anisim of Hanukkah, right? Zadim, those many of those who were siding with the enemies of the Jewish people at the time of Hanukkah, and then they were our own people. They were the blood of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, but they were not Jews in their hearts nor in their minds. They were Choylek al Ikri Emuna. They fought against those principles of our faith, and they also did it in an arrogant manner.
We have the same today.
Yeah, you want to explain a little bit further on that?
We have people who are Jewish and who are against Jews. They're anti-Semites.
That's true. That's right. They're against the principles of faith, and they do it also in a very arrogant manner. They seem to take. We had the same situation beginning with the Haskalah, with the advent of the Enlightenment and the Reform and other things which took place and led to the Holocaust. That was well, they were not simply satisfied to have different opinions, right? They weren't live and let live. They weren't at all interested in that. They were interested in destruction. They were interested in fighting against Torah and mitzvahs.
Yeah.
And right, and that's we live in that situation even in this very moment.
Right.
That I tell you the truth. Tell you the truth. I have to find it. There's a Rashi in Chumash which is very revealing in terms of this this point. Let me see if I can find it for you. Well, if you want, one second. One second. If you have I want to refer you to a Rashi in a Vayikra. If you have a Chumash Vayikra with Rashi nearby.
No. Got a Chumash, but not with Rashi.
Okay, let me go check.
Where in it? Where in Vayikra?
Okay, that's going to be Vayikra chapter 26, the Chaf Vav, and Pasuk Tes Vav.
26, 15.
Yeah, 26:15, correct.
26:15.
26:15. All right. 244.
Okay.
Let's see. And if you will consider my statutes revolting, and if your being rejects my ordinances, so as not to perform my commandments, to annul my covenant. Okay.
Right.
So Rashi says, if you will consider my statutes revolting, he abhors others who perform the statutes. Oh, that's what you're talking about.
That's right.
Your being rejects my ordinances. He hates Torah scholars. Not to perform, he prevents others from performing.
Mm.
All my commandments, he renounces the commandments by saying that I did not command them. This is why it says all my commandments, and it does not say all the commandments. To annul my covenant, he renounces that which is essential, i.e., he denies his belief in God. See now that there are 7 sins. The first brings on the second, and so forth until the 7th. They are the following. He did not study, he did not perform, he abhors others who perform, he hates the Torah scholars, he prevents others from performing the commandments, he renounces the commandments, he renounces that which is essential.
So this is Zadon. This is the exact point that we're making over here. This is Zadon. This is the wanton, malicious, arrogant desire to destroy Torah and those who observe and learn Torah. So, a lot of times we think. Excuse me?
How do you know that this is referring to Zadon? I don't see the word Zadon here anywhere.
If you compare this to what the Malbim is saying, remember the Malbim we just read. That's that Malbim. There's a Malbim on that pasuk in Avadia.
Oh,
so remember the Malbim. He said Zadon stam Zad hu choylek al ikri amuna. He argues against the principles of faith, and machishin biad Roma, and he contests them in an arrogant way.
right.
So this chain of events begins, as Rashi explains here, by not learning. Those people that they don't, and this is talking about Jews. A lot of times when you think about Memshala Zadim in Aretz, it's true. Look, there's no question that throughout especially our Golas Edom, there have been times and places where we've been persecuted and we've been hated, and the Torah has been destroyed, been burnt, and Talmidei Chachamim have been destroyed. But you should realize, even in the time of when we had kings, Izebel, and other kings, they destroyed and wiped out the Chachamim, right? You may remember the I think it's the Gemara in Baba Basra, Shimon ben Shattach. He was the only remaining sage in the generation, and the king and the queen. He was a brother of the queen, if I'm not mistaken. So he was saved because of his relationship to the queen. But he destroyed Achar. He destroyed all the prophets. There was a certain amount of prophets they had to hide in a cave. Had to hide in a cave from the king. So the main zadon, the main malicious hatred towards Torah scholars and mitzvahs comes from our own kind, right? There's no question that throughout the ages and then that Argolis, that Klal Yisrael has been exposed to hatred and persecutions and destruction at the hands of the non-Jews. But primarily what we have to contend with is like we did at the time of Hanukkah. The time of Hanukkah, there was Zaydim, and the Zaydim were delivered into the hands of the Oskei Torah. Then the ones who were observant to the Torah. Those were the ones who were observant to the Torah had to fight against. That was our principal battle. There was a battle, of course, against the non-Jews, the Greek Syrians, and with all the elephant armies and things like that, right? But that was a battle which was taking place on a national scale against another nation. But the civil war that existed within us, right, that was much more serious. And if it hadn't been for the civil war which existed within us, then we wouldn't have the national conflict which invited the Greeks and the Syrians to come in and to take over and to have dominion over Eretz Yisrael and the Beis Hamikdash and all of that. Right. So it's important, I think, when Memshel Zadim in the Aretz. So we may think that's referring to the non-Jews, to the Goyim, to Edom, as you say, Edom, whoever it is, Edom this, Edom that, right? You might think it has to do, but the ones that we have to be most concerned about, the ones we have to be most concerned about are our own kind, our own kind. That not to give credit, but it's worth understanding. It's worth understanding that there was a certain Amak Shemoy. I don't even want to give him credit. Don't even want to give him credit to mention his name, Amak Shemon. But he wrote a certain book. He wrote a certain book. It was called Mein Kampf. I don't know if you ever heard of the book, Mein Kampf. Yeah. I'll read you something from what he wrote. What he wrote there. It says he makes in his book Mein Kampf, he makes a condemnation against the Jews. He says, all this I can understand, that the Jews, they are dissatisfied with their lot, their cursed fate which struck them so harshly. This much could be understood without recourse to reason. But inevitably what remained incomprehensible, what that Imak Shemoy Lizichron, what that Mak Shemoy, he could not understand. He could not understand logically. He could not understand. What inevitably remained incomprehensible was the boundless hatred they heaped upon their own nationality. The boundless hatred they heaped upon their own nationality, despising its greatness, besmirching its history, and dragging its great men into the gutter. That's what he wrote. The boundless hatred they heaped upon their nationality. despising its greatness, besmirching its history, and dragging its great men into the gutter. This is what he writes in Mein Kampf. This is what he witnessed. He witnessed this with his own eyes. He saw this with his own ears. He saw everything. He heard everything. This is his accusation against the Jews. This is what he accused the Jews of doing. He's accusing the Jews of being zadon, of being maliciously hatred against their fellow Jews, maliciously hatred against the Torah, maliciously hatred against the mitzvahs in the Kadosh Baruch Hu's and the faith in those who have faith in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's what he accused us of. That's what he witnessed. That's what caused him to hate. That gave him that power that he did such a destructive thing to us. And that he couldn't understand. Where did that internal hatred come from? That's the Zadon, the Memshala Zadon min haaretz. Yeah, like I said, it's true. We're talking about, superficially, we're talking about, the rest of the nations, and they don't give us enough support for Israel. They don't let us do this, they don't let us do that. You're right. Rome, what they did to us, right? All the other nations, Spain, what they did to us, right? All the others, what the church did to us, all those things. You're right. Yeah, it's true. But they were only outcomes of what we were doing to ourselves. The worst damage we do is to ourselves. And that's what he witnessed, and that's what he wrote, and that's what he accused us of, and that's why he was given power to destroy. He was given power to destroy. So this is what we're praying for. Definitely we want the Gullus to come to an end. Definitely we don't want to have dominion of foreign governments and alien people over us. That's definitely true. But when we're praying for Zadon, right? Haver's Memshala Zadon min haaretz, the Memshala, the diminution, that they are in control. Those who hate us, right? Those who hate us, they are in control. Right? That's what we're trying, and we're praying, right? That it shall disappear.
So what are we praying that Hashem should do? When we say remove, what do we mean remove? We want Hashem to kill them all?
And whatever is going to be, whatever is going to do it. I don't know. Whatever's going to do it. That's going to be something which is necessary for what we're praying for. How it's going to happen, I don't know. We don't ask for anything specific, right? We're not asking for any specific thing to happen. We're saying that right, and iniquity shall close its mouth, right? They'll have no opportunity to speak, right? Number one. It'll all vanish like smoke. It'll vanish like smoke. So according to that, it won't be just like smoke disperses and is not around. I guess they won't be around either, right? And then it'll be removed. The Memshala Zadon min haaretz. There are three things here, right? So it's interesting to try and think about what there are three levels here. That it's going to be that there'll be a closing of the mouth, there'll be a disappearing, right? And there'll be a removal. Three things: closing of the mouth, disappearing, and a removal. And one is of loss, iniquity. There'll be iniquity. Iniquity shall close its mouth, and then Risha, evil, will be dispersed like the smoke, and then the dominion of those who are maliciously rebellious, that shall be removed. So there are three things that are happening, three things that we're praying for here. We have to think about what the different levels are. There are different levels here. there are different levels. See this last point, right? This doesn't seem to be based on a pasuk. Doesn't seem to be based on an actual pasuk. We had other statements in the Bechaintains that we've been learning the last couple of days that they're based on psukim. But this seems not to be exactly that. This seems to be a paraphrase of it's a concept. It's a prayer which is not based on a pasuk, but it's seems to be a prayer which is going to be a summation of many different things. See, I'll tell you, truthfully to tell you, some mean, if I'm not mistaken, some mean Memshel Zodim in Aretz is a Molech. Some are learning this has to do with the Molech. But again, this is all external to us, right? A Molech is something which is external to us. Again, exactly how they're going to go, right? All these three things are happening. How they're going to go? That's, I guess, that's a whole different discussion, right? Exactly what's going to happen to them. I mean, they'll be given the chance that Hashem will give everybody everything. Will have ultimately a final chance to do tshuva, right? The way I understand it, I'll give everyone an ultimate chance to do tshuva. How that'll be actually, who and what will actually do tshuva, that'll depend on how inclined they are to do tshuva. Some may do tshuva very quickly. That's all the thing with Tein Pachtecha, right? Emasecha, right? Yerucha. Right, when we're praying for those things would happen. Those things are. We shouldn't think that those things are not without reason. Part of them, and a great part of the reason of those things, right? When we pray the first prayers, we say "V'chein tein paktika Shem Elokeinu al kol ma'asecha ve'emasecha al kol ma'ashabarasa v'yirucha kol ma'asim." Right, those things are being prayed for in order to soften the people up, to soften the world up, right? The people in the world, they'll experience the fear, the awe, and the dread of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, so they'll be softened up to do tshuva, right? That's to their benefit. It's also going to be benefiting anyone else. I mean, we're talking about Zaydim also, right? So, all right, maybe if I have a chance, I'll see if I can't find some more discussion on this point to clarify a little bit more. Avir Memshel Zodim in the Aretz. If I can, I'll see if I can't maybe even find something to print out and send to you all, Mitzvah Shem. All right. Okay, good time to stop here. Okay. Fine. All right. Thank you, Roy. Hope you have a good afternoon. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you. You too.